All right, welcome along to our very first Blab. My name's Catherine Eggins and I'm from Happy Active Well, and I'm a transformational wellness coach. I'm really passionate about helping women to lead happier and healthier lives, in particular using the law of attraction. I'm really here to squash the myth that being happy and healthy is hard work. It couldn't be further from the truth. So if you really get back to basics and start living within the laws of nature, it can actually be quite easy. It's something that I live, I breathe it, and I just can't wait to share it with you. So in regard to health, how does the law of attraction work? It's very much the same as prosperity. It's the same principles. It's what you think is what you create. So if you think that you'll never lose weight, then you'll have a really, really hard time losing weight. If you think that you'll never be well, you won't be well. So it's all about just changing the way that you think and just getting into the flow of it with nature, and everything else falls into place. It's actually, yeah, it's quite exciting. I love it. So one of the things that is really good for your health is art. So I'd like to introduce my good friend, Kate Jacobson. Hi, Kate.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for inviting me. Very excited.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for joining me on my first Blab. Good.
No worries.
Oh, dear. So far, everything going to plan. It's good. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I, like yourself, am a law of attraction life coach. I have chosen the niche of prosperity and creativity. So I love helping women to attract more abundance and wealth through using the law of attraction and creative processes. So I'm a single mum, and I have successfully used the law of attraction to attract wonderful things into my life as well. So I just want to share the knowledge, share the love.
Yeah, sounds good. Good. So how did you come up with the idea to incorporate creativity and the law of attraction?
Well, they're two loves of my life, really. So I love law of attraction and what you can bring into your life. And I also love art. I have painted for quite a while. I've painted for about, I was thinking back, and I think it's about 14 years now I've been creative and full on painting. Before I just sort of dabbled. And I just love it. I lose time when I do paint. So I know that, it must be good for you. If you do something you love and you lose time, do more of it, because it's great. It's good for the soul.
Yeah, it definitely is. I find exactly the same thing. I probably don't create as much as I should because I really do enjoy it. But when I do, I go into my art studio and I'm just there for hours. And all of a sudden it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm going, I really should be going to bed. Because being a fitness instructor, I'm also up quite early. And sleep is really good for your health too.
Yes, definitely.
So what's your thoughts on this new fad that's hit the market, the adult colouring in books, with how they're beneficial towards health and wellness?
I love it. I really do. It's a great principle to get involved in. I didn't think it'd go off as well as it has. I saw a couple of them out a few years ago, and I thought, they're not going to take off. People won't want to do that, and they've just flown off the shelves. So I missed that mark. Next time I need to jump on the wagon. But it creates mindfulness when you are colouring, and just takes you back to that place of being a kid again, when life was fairly stress-free and you didn't have to worry about anything but colouring out of the lines. So, who wouldn't want to go back there? And I mean, when you are colouring, it sort of takes you back into a meditative state. So you're focusing on the here and now. You're not worrying about what you did wrong yesterday or what might happen tomorrow or the bills that are coming in or anything else. So, and law of attraction, all about the feeling. So if you can get that positive flow for, a good chunk of time, you're on the right path. Yeah,
fantastic. So do you think it's important to colour between the lines, or is it okay to go a little bit over the edge?
Go over the edge. Live on the wild side is what I say. And that's why I love art journaling, because the art form I was doing previous to that was folk art. So it was very much inside the lines and doing the nice strokes and everything. Art journaling, you get stamps out and slap the paint around and you just go wild, and I love it.
So what are the benefits of using creativity in regard to the law of attraction?
Well, I find that it's because you need to be very mindful and be aware of what you're thinking. When you are creating, you're very focused on what you're doing. And I know for myself that when I do, because I do a lot of art journaling with my law of attraction processes, so the gratitude journal, if you can do that as an art journal spread, you're focusing a lot more time and energy on what you're grateful for. So, you know, it's a win-win, really. You're having fun and you're attracting what you want into your life.
Yeah. So vision boards.
Yeah, vision boards.
Good idea.
They're a fantastic idea. And there's so many different takes on a vision board nowadays. I mean, if you're not the one to, you know, roll your sleeves up and get yourself dirty with paint, you can go onto Pinterest and set yourself a board up. So, you know, I also do little cards, so little vision cards with an affirmation on the back, and you can use them as a bookmark, you know, so you can get a little bit creative on that side too. Yeah.
And it's also a good idea to, like you say, make a bookmark with the things that you want to attract, because then it's there. You see it all the time when you're reading those good self-development books. That kind of thing.
Exactly. You've got your vibration up, so you can really focus on it. So do you do much vision boarding yourself, or?
I have done a couple of vision boards, and I have found them to be really good, because they do make you focus on what you want. And my latest vision board, I'm just looking at it over here, and it's got, you know, about getting back in the driver's seat. Here I am in my driver's seat. You know, and it's got imagine, create, let your creativity roar. But the one I had before that, I had a lot of holidays on it, and one of the things that I really wanted to see was the Northern Lights. So I put a picture up there, and I was able to do that not last year, the year before. I'm so used to saying last year, but it was November 2014. I went and saw the Northern Lights. So I love vision boards, and I did actually run my own workshop one night, and the local newsagent donated some magazines, and I just left them there in the crate and didn't sort of go through them till an hour before the session. And I'm going through, and there's like a trucker's magazine, and there's a fishing magazine, and just all these men's magazines, really. And there were a couple of women's magazines in there, and I thought, okay, this will be interesting. But it was really interesting, all the information, all the different things that these women found in these magazines, even though they were magazines that men would really look at, just little quotes and quips. And it was really like the magazine found them, and then they through it, and they found the thing that really related. And when they all spoke at the end as to tell everyone what their board meant, everyone commented at the end that it was a really good way to get to know each other a little bit better, because they were very personal. So I love them. I think it's great. Creating anything is great.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
It is.
Did you have success with your vision board, can I ask?
Yes. There's a couple of things I'm still working on that are on it, but it's been very successful. It's good, and I have it where I see it every day. I've actually taken my photo. Not here. No, it's back on my vision board actually. When we did see the Northern Lights, so I've got that up there as well, just to remind me of what's possible. Yeah,
definitely. And it's good to have like a success board as well. I like to cut up my old board of things that have actually happened, and stick it somewhere where I can see it. Which brings me on to, I went out into my studio and I brought out in some of my journals.
Oh, good.
There's one here. Oh no, I bought in the wrong journal. I was going to say I've got a journal that I do, which is like a success journal, and when I was trying to visualize and attract this RAV4 that I wanted, a black RAV4, I had it stuck on the visor of my little Lancer. So every time I got in the car and flipped down the visor, I'd see this perfect car that I wanted, and the little saying, I deserve to be prosperous on there. And within 6 months I had that car, and there was no at the time there was no way I thought I could afford that car. And that sort of come from the flow on of subdividing and selling the land in record time, and the house in record time, using the law of attraction. So I was prosperous and I had my car. So
fantastic.
It's good to record it, like stick it on a board or stick it in a journal and write the date of when you actually achieve that, and a big thank you underneath, because we do need to show gratitude for what we get.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I was actually I've got a picture of a Buddha on the wall that I was actually going to bring it in and put it behind me because this nice, attractive brown wall that I have behind me. I thought I'll put the Buddha there and went to take it off the wall and there's a spider behind it. And I thought, okay, that's a sign. Not quite sure what I'm manifesting there. I need to do some work, I think. So needless to say, the picture's not there. I'll leave it over there. So, so what are the creative projects that really get your creative juices flowing, and how do they make you feel?
It'd have to be the art journaling. And like I said, you can just go ballistic with art journaling. You can do whatever you want. You glue scrap bits of paper down and then paint over it, and stamps and stickers. And because I'm a painter, I like to paint over the top as well. And I like to do just little inspirational spreads as well. So I do have another one here that's open, so I know it's good. So it's probably back to front, is it?
No.
So I've got those two girls there, and you can read those. Yeah. So so that one there is "You Are Worthy."
Yep.
And that one there is from a Marianne Williamson quote, and that one reads, "And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same." So, and then I can flip through back through that, and you absorb the feeling that you get when you're creating it. You sort of remember like what you were thinking and sort of the feelings that you were feeling when you were doing that, sort of how you were directing it. I mean, that one with "Let Your Own Light Shine," that's for my kids, just so they can see that anything is possible, and don't let the world get you down, because there is so much negativity out there in the world and in the news. We just need a little bit of inspiration, I think. Very true. And it's good to send a message like that to kids, because I was actually talking to someone only a couple of days ago, and they were a school teacher, and they were talking about kids with dyslexia and different things, and how there are different ways of learning. And then you get somebody like Richard Branson, who is dyslexic, but had really supportive parents, and pretty much told him that anything was possible. And I think that's fantastic, just to let people become themselves and be their creative selves, and and just achieve amazing things in the world. It's great. And it's funny you say that, because I read, I think it was on Facebook, it was probably about a month ago. It was Thomas Edison or Einstein or somebody. It was a story about them, and how they had come home from school one day with a note from their teacher, and their mother read the note and cried. And he said, what was going on, and the mum said, the teacher has said that you're just a wonderful student and you're so easy to teach that you can stay home. And after she had passed away, he found the note, and it was actually saying that we can't teach your son. He's quite low intelligently. Don't bother sending him to school. And I mean, if she had told him that, so many things would not have been invented, It's because he had this feeling of, yes, I'm great, I'm fantastic. He went on to achieve wonderful things. It's really, really important what you feed those young minds with.
Yes, definitely. So how has the law of attraction changed your life?
Oh, majorly. I've really immersed myself in the law of attraction when I went through a divorce, and I was borderline depressed. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I was so stressed about how I was going to cope with everything else, like paying the bills and the mortgage, and I didn't have a job at the time. I hadn't worked for a while because I had the kids. Found the law of attraction and started to apply the principles that I love myself and I am worthy to have these things, because you need to have that feeling first, because if you don't, all your hard work's just going to float out the window. So you really need to forgive yourself for anything that you're not happy about. And I found a job that was school hours. It was just down the road. They were quite family friendly. So I think my daughter was sick for my interview, so they rescheduled the interview. They were quite happy. And then, I attracted a job in a cafe. I wanted to have a dabble in hospitality, and I was over 30. People kept saying to me, "You're too old. They only want young people." Walked into a cafe, and it was actually someone who I'd gone to TAFE with, like the previous year. It was her cafe, her and her husband had just bought, so I got a job. So, these little coincidences just happened whilst I was using the law of attraction, and I totally believe that it was the law of attraction.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
just things that blow my mind when you look back. It's, amazing. And then I, with the subdivision, I always wanted to subdivide once I'd gotten divorced. Couldn't see how that was going to happen on a part-time income. And I ended up getting a promotion at work. I was working full-time. The kids were older, so I could work full-time. And spoke to a very generous man at the bank over the phone, and he said, look, only because you're going to subdivide and sell the land, I'll lend you the money. So I could have got a really irate person, and they could have said no, and then that would have been it. So I just kept thinking positive. And then with the subdivision, I got onto a real estate agent, and he put me onto a surveyor or conveyancer, one of the two, I've forgotten. And they told me everything I needed to do, gave me phone numbers of people that would help me clear the land and all this sort of stuff, and it just went so smooth. I think the whole process took like 9 months of subdividing and selling. So then I got to move back to my hometown, and I'm closer to family now, and the kids are a lot more settled and happier, and life's great.
That's fantastic. It is amazing how easily things flow when you're in the flow, basically, with the law of attraction, and just allowing the right people to come to you and the right experiences. And I had an incident with when I needed to replace my car, because it had a lot of mileage on it, and it was just getting to that point that the value of the car really wasn't worth doing the work on. And I thought, I need a new car. I'm a bit impartial to Honda CRV, so I started visualising another Honda CRV, because I had one before. And I booked in to go to an event, and on the day of the event, I thought, I really didn't feel like going, because I didn't have to pay for it. There again, free events, no skin in the game, sort of easy to pull out. And I thought, no, I won't go. And so it was about an hour and a half to get there as well. And it was like I had this big booming voice in my head that said, get in your car and go. So I'm okay, all right, I'll go. And while I was there, this freak hailstorm came in. And when I had a look on my phone at the weather report, it was just this one red cell over where we were. And there's these massive hailstones. And my car got written off with hail damage. And I was able to then just go and buy my next car. And it was fantastic. There again, so smoothly. It was perfect. So we have a note here from True Gifts. It says, good and bad, these things we label. Ultimately, the universe is like a symphony, and we and everything in are a part of the orchestra playing its music. And it was written by Esquil Reyes. You'll have to excuse my pronunciation there. I admire anybody that works on SBS television. The pronunciation of names, they do it perfectly. So, thank you very much for that, True Gifts. And if anyone has any questions, we've got our question box there if you'd like to type in any questions. So, I love talking about the law of attraction. It's so exciting.
Again, I lose time. Talking about the law of attraction.
Yeah. So do you have any final words of wisdom or any ideas to share?
I would say give colouring a go, or any creative, anything that you've been called to creatively in the past. Life's gotten in the way and you haven't done it recently. Go and do it. Like whether it's dancing or creating music, painting, colouring, or whatever. Zentangle is another fantastic thing to do. Google it. There's lots of different tiles, they're called, that you can do, and there's step-by-step instructions, and it's just a repetitive pattern that you draw. And that is actually another form of meditation. So give it a go,
Is it like...
think positive.
Yes, yeah. Is it like mandalas?
Well, the tiles, it's a lot of different little patterns. So it might be like a repetitive little flower that you draw, or it's hard to explain. Yeah, it's not a circle like a mandala. They're actually done on a little tile, and then you can join the tiles together, and you've got all these different patterns. It's generally done in black and white, but you can colour it and you can shade it. And if they're shaded, they're beautiful. They're fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, great. So do you have anything to offer our viewers today?
I do. I have some freebies on my website, which is www.jacobson, awakeningyourabundancecreatively.com. And I've printed them off so you can see them. They're actually colouring in pages. And I do have like a supporting PDF for you to have a look at as well. So firstly, I've got these little ones here, which are bookmarks that you can colour in and laminate once you've cut them out. And I have another page here, which is just goal setting. So put your goal up around the sun there. And then you've got, you know, the tree there that you can put your little affirmations or mini steps to your major goal.
Yeah.
And then I've also got this one, and I've, on the PDF, I've got like instructions on how to do like an art journaling spread. So that's using different mediums as well. So it's not paint colour. If you want to do that, and just to help the creative juices flowing. Yes. Sometimes you can be a bit blocked. And I'm also running free tele seminars too. So I'm because I love talking about law of attraction so much. I've been running them for the past few weeks on Tuesdays. So if you want to sign up for them, if you can't make it, feel free to still sign up, because there will be a link sent out to people on my mailing list, and the recording will be on my website.
Oh, so, good. Okay. Well, I've got some as well. I've actually done some chakras. So, these ones I've designed myself. So I'm going to put those up as freebies on my website. So, and they were really, really fun to do. Yep. I even just drawing them to create them was really good fun. So, so I'll put those up with a link with this Blab on my website as well. So, great. All right. Well, I'm going to head off now because my attention span lasts about half an hour. So,
that's about mine too. I think we've got to just try.
I think we did pretty well for a first Blab. So, and I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in as well. And I look forward to our next Blab.
Definitely.
I'm planning on having a Blab once a month and chatting to people. So I'm just setting up my next ones. So if you would like to know a bit more about my Blabs, you can come along to my website, which is happyactivewell.com, and I'm also on Facebook as well. So, so if you just get in there and you'll find me as well. And, come and join me, and we'll Blab a bit more in the future. So thank you very much, Kate. It was a pleasure to chat to you, as always. Great. And I look forward to being interviewed on your first Blab. So... Great. Okay. Just invite myself along.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Great. You have a good day, and thanks everyone, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye everyone. See ya.